Today, it's at the bottom of the ocean. That's exactly how you save American lives. President Trump wasted no time. Will unleash America's full firepower to protect the American people. And the House Republicans, well, we have his back. This week, House Republicans will deliver a defense bill that will end wokeism in the military, secure military equipment that's made in America by Americans, great American warriors, and get American warriors what they need when they need it, and fundamentally deliver peace through strength. Let me tell you how. First, there will be no surgeries. House Republicans are putting an end to that. We're also repealing the Biden administration's woke DEI and critical race theory cuts for American manufacturing workers. The NDAA rebuilds our defense supply chains so our weapons are built by American workers, not foreign adversaries. Jobs here at home. Third, House Republicans will be cutting red tape, building transparency, and shifting the focus from paperwork to fire on the horrors of September 11th, 2001. Nearly every single one of us remembers where we were again. This year's defense bill tells the world never again by making historic investments in our military. House Republicans are authorizing the Golden Dome, fully funding border security, delivering a 3.8% pay raise for our service members, and deterring China, defending Israel, and delivering peace through strength. So the world knows that should America go to war, we will win. America will be respected again. We will be strong again. We will win again. And House Republicans will make sure of that. And with that, I want to turn it over to a fellow Michigander, a friend, a war fighter who defended America in Iraq, Guantanamo Bay, Kuwait, and the Korean DMZ. My friend, Congressman Tom. Oh, you don't need the box?
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa, and thank you to all of you here and to our leadership team for allowing me to join you for a few moments. I wanted to highlight I'm working hard, and I can tell you that the American people and the folks in my district that I was connecting with day after day were telling me how excited they are about no taxes on their tips. Asphalt down on the road, and the crew there was extremely excited about the overtime work that they're putting in with seasonal labor, and everything else is not going to result and more taxes on there. The small business administrator in the district talking about the no taxes on tips for them as well. People are very excited about that. This week we have right now with military aircraft and civilian aircraft not being interoperable with their collision avoidance system that I think contributed to the fatal crash here in Washington, D.C. We're going to begin the process of upgrading our military fleet to account for that, and it's something that I've been working hard on and proud to see. And of course, as the chair pointed out, the anniversary of 9/11. I was a young private in South Korea when 9/11 happened, and to be here today as a member of Congress this week passing the NDAA is something that I'm very proud to be working on and want to make sure that we always continue to keep Americans safe. So I'm very thankful to be here. Thank you to the chair for having me, and really appreciate it. Oh, sorry.
I got it. Hey, you're good. You're good. When Democrats, they make it abundantly clear that they stand with criminals. Since day one, President Trump has been restoring safety and security down to historic lows. As of yesterday, there have been over 2,000 arrests made and over 200 illegal guns seized and safe again if leaders have the will to do it. But Democrats across America refuse to acknowledge safer streets as a win for the American people. Call them that. Rail against President Trump and the Republican Party in an attempt to defend their own dangerous soft-on-crime policies. These soft-on-crime policies don't just defy common sense. They put real lives at risk. The whole world witnessed this when over the weekend a video was released of a 23-year-old woman boarding a train in Charlotte, North Carolina. Moments later, she was dead, stabbed in the throat by a ranger. Woke judges, DAs, and politicians run and govern on a platform that protects criminals while leaving innocent civilians to bear the consequences. It doesn't have to be this way. President Trump has made it clear that law and order works. Now is the time for the shameless so-called leaders of blue cities and states to take a page out of President Trump's playbook. With that, I turn it over to our great leader, Steve Scalise.
It's so important that we get the National Defense Authorization Act passed, where we come together and debate the priorities of our nation's defense. And if you look at reforms that are in the bill, some of the important priorities, we're giving a pay raise to our troops, our men and women in uniform, to continue to address something that Chairman Rogers has been focused on, to take care and defend our freedoms here and abroad. We're going to continue to allow President Trump to have the tools that he needs to show peace through strength around the globe, as he's doing. The only reason he's been able to get so many peace accords with other countries is because he has the military might to back it up. You don't ever want to have to use it, but if you don't have it, the bad guys around the world see that weakness, and they've exploited it in the past. When we've had weak leaders, took advantage of that. It doesn't just hurt America, it hurts our friends and our allies all around the world. So it's critical that we refocus our military on its main mission. And part of that there, and this bill continues to advance those efforts. Something else you're going to see here in the House tomorrow, today because of President Trump's action, bringing in National Guard troops. But we've seen and identified many flaws with D.C. ordinances. You know, when people point and walk free the next day, it's because that's what the ordinances in D.C. allow. They actually allow soft on crime measures, so we're reversing that. We're going to be bringing bills through. We will make D.C. safe again. We will get rid of all of these ridiculous laws and limitations on law enforcement. No cash bail. Right now, if you can walk free the next day if you're under 25 years old, which, by the way, are the ages of most of the violent criminals here in D.C. And so you wonder why there's the police soft on crime mantra. We'll see if they finally listen to what the voters of this country want. I'm not holding my breath. Luckily, we're going to do it on our own if they're not going to about making other cities safe. And, you know, The whip talked about Governor Walz, you see Governor Pritzker, you see so many other governors. Governors should be working with President Trump to figure out ways to stop murders. You know, if Governor Pritzker, instead of trying to come up with tweets to criticize President, if he cared about it, but he doesn't. They want crime to continue. They want to continue defunding the police and try to have it both ways. And President Trump is tired of that game because he's tired of watching people be hurt. There's no reason for this violent crime wave that we see in so many cities. So we're going to continue to have the president's back and frankly, have the American people's back. Regardless of their party, regardless of what city they live in, everybody deserves to be safe. And Republicans are going to continue to push policies to help put that in place. And the person who is leading that charge is our Speaker, Mike Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. Can I ask a point of personal privilege? Are we in charge of the lights here? Is this an NRCC thing? Can we turn those down seriously? Whichever staff member can dim. All right. Okay. All right. No mercy. No mercy. They're wearing me down. I feel like I'm under interrogation. We would be in a good mood because everybody's back for our first political conference after the August recess here at the NRCC. And our members are spread out, fanned out around the country. All the extraordinary things that we've got in our legislation, the One Big Beautiful Bill, the Working Families Tax Cut. We could call it a lot of things. We could call it the American Energy Dominance Bill, the Secure Our Borders Permanently Bill, you know, on and popular that people know and they're beginning to experience and feel what we've done for them, and we're excited about that. But our spirits are dampened a little bit this morning because of all the discussion about the crime, and it's not something that we can unspeakable tragedy. This 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee was brutally murdered in cold blood on a train in Charlotte, North Carolina. Her name is Irina Zarutska, and she was on the way home from her job at a pizzeria where she worked. She was stabbed repeatedly by a career criminal with a rap sheet a mile long. It's infuriating, it's heartbreaking, it gives you a feeling in the pit of your stomach. This young lady, Irina, survived Ukraine. She fled amid the deadliest land war in Europe since World War II. She fled to the safety, or so she thought, of the United States, just to have her life senseless, arrested and released 14 times. Yeah, more than a dozen, 14 times. We don't have to live like this. President, that since cracking down on violent crime in the district, roughly 1,700 arrests have been made. Now, you may say that's a small portion of the population. It's just local law enforcement know that it's always in every city relatively a select few individuals who are committing most of the crimes. And that's been true in D.C. as well. They're enabled by these soft on crime policies that were discussed here, and even softer prosecutors and prosecutions. And criminals have relentlessly abused the public and the public spaces. We just want to say this loud and clear, and we're demonstrating it. This is not just talk, this is action. Republicans are in charge. Now, here's what is stunning to me. If you only read the New York Times, the Washington Post, or most of the other mainstream outlets, you don't know anything about Irina's heartbreaking story. For some attention to it. And actually, all we can do is pray for the family, the Zarutska family, and continue our calls for the swift application of justice. Let's talk about some issues of the week. The NDAA, the House is going to take up and pass the FY26 diligent work on the legislation. We are providing for the common defense, and as we know, that's one of our most basic governing duties here in Congress, and on this side of the aisle, we take it very seriously. The sad fact is that 4 years under President Biden left our military's readiness in a very troubled state. Thankfully, President Trump has reinstituted the doctrine of peace through strength, and that will maintain America's dominance in a very dangerous world. This year's NDAA lays out policies to defend
our military occupation. We demand you vote on H.R. 51 to make D.C. a state. We demand that you defend home rule. What do we demand? That you defend home rule. What do we demand? That you defend home rule. You know, one of the things of so many student movements, from the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee to students in Bolivia, in Chile, in Serbia, who have risen, demanded democracy that's determined by dignity and diversity, not despotism and despair. And that's what we're here to demand today. that democracy, that dignity can extend to DC, can extend to our college campuses, that we as students can have autonomy in our district and in the decision-making of our education. To your friends, when you tell them why you walked out, I want you to remember that today we are going to look back on the institutions and their actions today. We need them to remember what light they'll cast them in. And trust each other and feel comforted in the knowledge that who keeps us safe?
We keep us safe!
Who keeps us safe?
We keep us safe! Stand up, fight back!
When workers are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When workers are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back! From DC to Palestine! DC to Palestine! Occupation is a crime! Occupation! Occupation is a crime! Occupation is a crime! Georgetown, Georgetown, we know you! Georgetown, Georgetown, we know you! You endanger workers too! You endanger you! You endanger workers too! You endanger workers too! Thank you, everyone!
I'm committed to ending the exploitation of labor at Georgetown and beyond. It is a privilege to be speaking before a group of people who recognize that Donald Trump's goal to criminalize state-induced poverty and to castrate the power of the working class. Many are calling this an unprecedented from the American internal colony to the global south could tell us that what we are seeing is not the exception, but the rule of American imperialism. I want 50 as the imperial boomerang. In his revolutionary essay, Discourse on Colonialism, Césaire writes the following words: "And then, one fine day, the dins fill up, the torturers standing around the racks invent, refine, discuss. People are surprised, they become indignant. They say, how strange from themselves, that it is barbarism, the supreme barbarism, the crowning barbarism that sums up all the daily barbarisms, that it is Nazism, yes, but that before they were on them, that they absolved it, shut their eyes to it, legitimized it, because until then, it had been applied only to non-European people. Most moral, the most democratic nation in the world, yet we lack political representation, and public spaces have become playgrounds for the ROTC, which was right over there. 30 different police agencies that govern DC in what can only be described as barbarism. However, shame, as Césaire writes, before we were the victims of fascism, we in the West were its accomplices. The Metropolitan Police Department has strong ties with the State of Israel and has received training from the Israeli occupation forces, including a counterterrorism security training program, which an entity of MPD uses the training and surveillance technology, uses the very same tactics to arrest delivery drivers and service workers in DC. The fact that there have been 100 deaths is the imperial boomerang in action. When we call for freedom from the occupation, from DC to Palestine, we must recognize that as always, God must be our compass, and a world in which armed military troops stalk the streets is a mere fraction of what Palestinians living under Israeli occupation. We must understand that the federal occupation of DC is our being awakened by the terrific boomerang effect that Césaire first mentioned, which can be traced to the American-funded genocide of 1917. We understand the federal takeover as a part of a larger systemic flaw, one bigger than any single politician. While much of the conversation around the federal occupation of DC has centered on restoring the power of the local government, the administration of our mayor, Muriel Bowser, laid the groundwork for the Trump administration. Last year, Democrats in City Hall passed justification of law and order to legalize our constant video surveillance under the pretense of eliminating crime. The local government, far before the federal occupation. We cannot solely call for an end to federal occupation, but also for the end of the careers of politicians like genocide. Not only does the mask ban endanger student protesters, acts that our administration allowed federal agents to enter private university property and has refused to declare a sanctuary campus or protect a corporation investing millions in genocide while exploiting its predominantly black and Latino labor force, while Georgetown likes to infringing on the rights of its workers for decades. Shame! Nowhere is that more clear than in a recent decision. As a part of a string of decisions to bring in subcontractors to save money, the Georgetown administration, led by Chief Operating Officer David Green, is trying to eliminate all GUTS positions, forcing workers who have been driving for GUTS for decades to find alternate positions and accept pay cuts and precarious healthcare services because Georgetown claims it cannot afford to keep the fleet. Shame! In solidarity with the GUTS drivers, we have launched a petition demanding that the university refuse to subcontract the bus service and their flyers circulating with the CR code so that you too can raise the cry for justice for GUTS workers and sign the petition to protect GUTS. In the words of one GUTS bus driver, there's a certain kind of reputation that has more to do with morality, civic-mindedness. You're going to do this to us. You think you should still deserve. What happened to cura personalis? Where is that now? Georgetown has lost the right to be called a Jesuit institution, just as the United States. Free
supremacist and Zionist ideology. He openly bragged about his complicity in the ongoing genocide of the Palestinians in Gaza that has killed over hundreds of thousands of people to this day. Stop there. He's even trying to curtail our ability to protest this same genocide by implementing a regressive mask ban that will undoubtedly be used to target students of color and to try to intimidate us into silence. But intimidated, we are not. And that is why we walked out today. We demand that Georgetown University end its capitulation to the fascist Trump regime. We demand that Georgetown University roll back its repressive policy changes. We must continue to organize strategically to advance these demands and understand that the DC struggle and the Palestinian struggle are all three. Get out there, join an organization, join SJP, and don't just stick to the basics. Aid, get your op and ice wash training, and take back this university for students, professors, and for workers. Thank you, everybody, and the occupation, and how Georgetown do not cooperate. When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Free DC! What do we want? Members of Free DC, can I hear it from Free DC? Free DC! If you looked at our class today, make some noise! That's huge. I want to start by centering how important this action is that you all have taken this morning. What we are witnessing, what DC communities are experiencing, is not normal, and we cannot normalize it. When we continue to go to work, and go to school, and go to the store, and carry on our days like everything is fine, we normalize what is happening. We can't afford to do that. We cannot afford to do that. We need to reject this occupation of DC. Is that right? Free DC is a 5-year campaign to protect home rule for the District of Columbia and win lasting dignity for the people here. For the last 3 weeks, we've witnessed ICE agents tackling people in the middle of our communities. For the last 3 weeks, we've witnessed agents detaining parents on their way to drop their children at school. That's right. For the last 3 weeks, we've seen our black youth in wards 7 and 8 harassed, profiled, and detained simply for being outside. That's wrong. And if we continue to normalize that and allow this to continue, it will only get worse. This is the most recent instance of this, but this is not where the story started. And I'm going to tell you for a minute about the District of Columbia. DC, after the Civil War, won voting rights for all free men, including the newly freed enslaved people. When Congress and the federal government noticed that those people were winning political power, they took away DC's ability to govern itself. That was wrong then, and for 100 years, DC was governed by a federally appointed board of governors. We could not set our own laws. We could not set our own budgets. We could not decide our own schools. We had no power. It was only in the 1960s, during the Civil Rights Movement, that former Mayor Marion Barry won home rule for the District of Columbia in what was the original Free DC campaign. Our movement now is named in honor of that campaign because we know that our struggle is connected to the struggle of the original residents of the district who had their rights and power taken away, to our ancestors who won home rule for DC 50 years ago, and to the threat that we face now. The good news is people in DC are rising up. Over the last 3 weeks, we've
patrols at night to warn one another about ICE. We've seen neighbors blockade checkpoints to direct traffic away and keep people safe. We've seen our neighbors heckle these agents and make it clear that they're not welcome. We've seen, and on Saturday we saw tens of thousands of people in the streets who are united in making it clear that DC does not want this occupation. And DC does not want this occupation no matter what our mayor says. What we're all witnessing now is a time when we have an important choice to make. Just like you all walked out today, this morning, we are all going to face a choice of whether to continue to tolerate this administration's agenda or if we are going to begin to not cooperate with it. That is what the DC is building, and that is what we are all united in fighting for, including you all who walked out today. I also want to say that in addition to the demands that I've heard you all make to the administration of the university, DC communities need our universities to be good partners in this moment. When these colleges and universities showcase the District of Columbia in their student brochures and advertise the incredible city that these universities are located in, they cannot continue to profit off the communities of the District of Columbia without the solidarity of being in solidarity with the community. Universities make millions of dollars a year, and we appreciate that, and we appreciate our universities and the services that they provide for the people here. But if they are not in solidarity with DC communities right now, DC communities are not going to be in solidarity with them. Gratitude to all of the organizers who are making this event happen today. Georgetown is only one of 4 universities that are hosting walkouts. Howard is happening in 5 minutes. Howard students are walking out. These students will walk out after lunch, and so will Americans. So I want you to say, up with liberation. Up with liberation. Down, down with occupation. Down, down with occupation. Free DC.
Parents beware. This is what our education system has come to today.
Democracy looks like. Hi everyone, thank you all for showing up today to fight against the Trump administration's authoritarian, unlawful, and entirely unnecessary takeover of the city that we have chosen as our home. My name is Izzy, and I'm speaking to you today not only as a student, but as a leader of Voice for Immigrant Rights. And I want to use my time today to remind us that the takeover, militarization, and occupation of D.C. is indeed an immigrant rights issue. The Metropolitan Police Department, which was previously barred from collaborating with ICE under the D.C. Sanctuary Values Law, is now actively collaborating with ICE, fueling mass deportations, insecurity, and fear in our communities. Since the federal takeover of D.C., more than 500 detentions and deportations have taken place. More than 2,000 arrests have been made. According to a nonprofit worker who is seeing the effects of this occupation up close, people who are detained in D.C. are being transported to an overcrowded processing center in Chantilly, where they are subject to inhumane conditions. They are denied food, denied clean drinking water, denied showers, medical care, and access to legal counsel. People with final removal orders are being expeditiously sent to detention in Louisiana and then deported. It is all happening in a matter of days, and our partner organizations...
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your comments in the chat. We will respond to them live. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what our education system has come to.
We see images of troops cleaning up trash and roaming around aimlessly. While this part of the narrative is important, we must center the attacks on our immigrant communities. This federalization is being used as a mechanism to terrorize DC immigrant communities, making our city more unsafe, more unstable, and more fashioned in the image of a white supremacist, fascist government. This is not the DC I have come to know as home. This is not the DC that I have come to know as beautiful. The strength and vibrancy of the city lies in its diversity and its interconnectedness. I would like to remind us all that although the cruelty and mass deportations we are observing are exceptional, the immigration system in this country has been built on an exploitative, exclusionary, and inhumane system. Throughout the history of the United States, immigrants have been demonized and labeled as an internal enemy in order for the state to consolidate.
Wow.
I know.
You know him?
Good morning. Hi, let me introduce myself. Lydia Sherman, VP of Communications.
Nice to meet you.
And you're with what outlet?
I'm freelance. So today I was supposed to be watching a post, but they got Marvin coming out here today. So I figured since I was on my way, I would just still hang out for a little bit.
So we are going to have a period of time where you guys can take some pictures and cover, and then we're going to ask you if you're going to stick around and move over to our place. We are reminding folks this is a private campus and we're trying to minimize disruption, but definitely don't want to interfere with your ability to cover the news of the day.
Now, do you know if there's like any other planned actions to like, I guess, coordinate with the other schools that are doing things?
Not really.
Okay. And do you guys think that you're going to have like National Guard or ICE agents or any other federal law?
I went.
How you been?
Good, how about you?
I can't complain. How's Georgetown?
I still need to get my class.
Okay.
I'm Dan, Resurrected for the Post. We've communicated.
You got a lot of black kids in there?
There you go. Yeah. A lot of change.
Wait, you work for Reuters now?
Yeah, today's actually my second day.
Oh, shit. Damn, Georgetown.
Yes.
I wanted to jump in here. I'm going to back this up just a little bit. These kids as Liberal Avenger said, they did have one hell of a crowd. I'm going to back it up just a little bit and show you the crowd of these kids. And it's ridiculous. These kids are barely 22, 23 years old, have no idea what they're even talking about half the time. It goes from free DC to free Palestine. What does Palestine have to do with the United States? It just makes no sense to me. Post your questions in the chat or your comments. We will answer them live.
When these colleges and universities showcase the District of Columbia in their student brochures and advertise the incredible city that these universities are located in, they cannot continue to profit off the communities of the District of Columbia without the solidarity and being in solidarity with the community. Millions of dollars a year, and we appreciate that, and we appreciate our universities and the services that they provide for the people here. But if they are not in solidarity with DC communities right now, DC communities are not going to be in solidarity with them. I want to express gratitude to all of the organizers who are making this event happen today. Georgetown is only one of 4 universities that are hosting walkouts. Howard is happening in 5 minutes. Howard students are walking out. These students will walk out after lunch, and so will Americans. So I want to just say, up with liberation. Up with liberation. Down with occupation. Down with occupation. 3DC.
Let's go back live to the shot out of Washington, D.C. with these protests. We will be here live as long as we have the feed. We will cover this in its entirety.
Our free DC person. Their name is Frankie, and they're going to come up here and talk to y'all a little bit about this situation. So can we have a round of applause, Frankie? Please come up here. We have about 5 to 6 speakers lined up for y'all over the course of the next hour.
Patriot CSA says break out the high-pressure water trucks.
You can come chill and listen.
I wouldn't be surprised if the campus security is out there. I believe this is from Georgetown University in Washington, D.C.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you for your courage. Thank you for being out today. For all of those who came out of class to stand on the lawn in solidarity with your classmates, with the residents of DC, because what is happening right now.
And according to these young ladies and men, they've walked out of class to do this protest with Free DC and Free Palestine. The only question that I really have with this all is, what does Palestine have to do with Free DC?
Because the only way we are going to get free is if we do it together. The only way left and the right of us. So when I ask you, I want you to dig down deep. Who keeps you safe?
And I'm really sure that the parents are really proud of these people. They're spending tens of thousands of dollars for their children to go to school. But now they've walked out of class because of something that these kids, in my opinion, really have no idea what they're even doing. 90% of the people, 90% of these children, have no idea what they're even protesting. It all goes back to the old saying, follow the leader.
Am I free to go? Repeat after me. Am I free to go?
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 And you don't consent to a search. So if I leave y'all with anything here today, it's that you have to make sure you know your rights. Be good upstanders. The first thing you should always ask is, am I free to go? If they say you're free to go, walk away. You don't have to say anything else. Do not consent to a search. Do not talk to police because cops lie. Cops lie. And I'm going to turn it back over to our moderator. I will come back up periodically to give y'all some tips and tricks. But again, thank y'all for being out here today. It is up to all of us. Thank you, Frankie. Who keep us safe?
We keep us safe.
Who keep us safe?
We keep us safe.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have a speaker from the Howard University Students for Justice in Palestine who's going to speak to you a bit as well. Once again, if you want to speak, if you have anything you want to say, a story you want to share to the crowd.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your comments in the chat. We want to know your opinion about these protests of Donald Trump and his administration with the ICE raids and everything else that is going on in the administration. Put them in the chat. We'll respond to them live. Also, what is these people out there wearing masks outside? It's either, in my opinion, they're afraid, or they're afraid of their identity.
Increased policing has never been the solution to crime. Our city is fine without fascists running through it. And these pigs don't keep us safe. We keep us safe. Who keeps us safe?
We keep us safe.
Who keeps us safe?
We keep us safe.
It may seem like we are fighting an uphill battle, but we cannot let that discourage us. Evil has taken many forms throughout history, whether it be fascism, colonialism, imperialism, racism, sexism. But throughout its lifetime, evil plays many cards to stay alive. But the final card evil will always play is to make you and me think that nothing can be done to stop it. If that happens, if we believe that we can't stop it, then evil wins. It doesn't matter even if it's on its last legs. If none of us think we can stop it, it will win. That is why even if you may feel tired, even if you don't know where this path will take us, even if it is out of spite, it is up to us to keep this momentum going and to keep hope alive so that evil can't win. In our cynical world, we are taught that hope is a weakness, but that is not true. Hope is powerful. Hope is liberation. Hope is revolutionary. And I know that hope is alive because each and every one of you are here. You are taking time out of your day to make your school hear your voice. Howard University must not comply with the Trump administration and their fascist agenda. Howard University must not even be silent, because silence in the face of adversity is complicity. We are asking the most basic demands that a school should do for its students and for its staff. We are asking for a sanctuary campus. We are asking for...
Bob Hope says, why in the hell are you wearing a mask outside, if at all? They do nothing. CDC and Fauci admitted that. Get a clue. Well, I've said the same thing. Why do people wear masks outside? I believe a lot of it is just programming of people, Bob Hope, but the answer that is a correlation, or not even a correlation, but an opinion, is they are hiding their identity. They don't want people to know who they are. Well, the whole idea of a protest is to have people's face in cameras to see who they are, to get their message across. But the message is very clear. We get a free day out of class, or we get to go out and cause drama. And that, in my opinion, what a protest is just chaos and drama.
Just spoke. When I say free, you say DT. Free! DC! Free! DC! When I say free Howard, you say free Howard. Free! Howard! Free! Howard! Thank you all so much. We know that this issue extends beyond us. Did you all know that 3 students lost their visas last semester? What has the university said about that? Do we know who those students are? No. This issue is going to continue. Who knows how many more students are going to lose their visas this semester? Who knows how the international students are being impacted? We need to speak to them.
I see people wearing masks everywhere.
Someone told me they were talking to an international student who said they were afraid to use
And I asked a lady, why are you wearing a mask?
That is the campus.
And her words are, nobody needs to see my face. And I'm scared that I'm going to get coronavirus. And this was just a week ago. It's ridiculous.
And I'm going to have a speaker who want to speak about their experience living in Florida, seeing alligator Alcatraz. So everyone give a round of applause for our next speaker.
Like she said, I'm from Florida, and the atrocities that are taking place in my state are inexcusable. People are being locked in cages like animals. And if people are paying attention to the news, it is now legal for you to be stopped based off of the language you speak and the color of your skin. This is abhorrent behavior of a government that is supposed to protect us. But we all know that was never the case. In historical context, this poem by Langston Hughes was used to describe an America that has fallen short of all that it's supposed to be. And I believe it is still relevant today. Let America be America again. Let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. Let it be the pioneer on the plane, seeking a home where freedom itself is free. America never was America to me. Let America be the dream the dreamer's dream. Let it be the great, strong land of love, where never kings deny or pirates scheme, that any man can crush by one love. It was never America to me. Oh, let my land be a land where liberty is crowned with no false patriotic grief, but opportunity is real and life is free. Equality.
The other thing these kids are preaching is liberty and rights. What kind of liberties and rights are they being, or them being taken away? Or what are the rights and liberties have been taken away? Put your comments in the chat.
And finding only the same old stupid plan of dog eat dog, of mighty crush the weak. I am the young man full of strength and hope, tangled in that ancient endless chain of profit, power, gain, of grab the land, of grab the gold, of grab the ways of satisfying need, of work the men, of take the pay, of owning everything for one's own greed. I am the farmer, bondsman to the soil. I am the worker's soul to the machine. I am the Negro servant to you all. I am the people, humble, hungry, mean. Hungry yet today, despite the dream. Beaten yet today, oh pioneers. I am the man who never got ahead, the poorest worker bartered through the years. Yet I'm the one who dreamt our basic dream in the old world while still a serf of kings, who dreamt a dream so strong, so brave, so true, that even yet its mighty daring sings in every brick and stone, in every furrow turn, that made America the land it has become. Oh, I'm the man who sailed those early seas in search of what I meant to be my home. For I'm the one who left dark Ireland's shore and Poland's plain and England's grassy lea, and torn from black Africa's strand, I came to build a homeland of the free. The free? Who said the free? Not me. Surely not me. The millions on relief today, the millions shot down when we strike, the millions who have nothing for our pay, for all the dreams we've dreamed and all the songs we've sung and all the hopes we've held and all the flags we've hung. The millions who have nothing for our pay.
Sean Graves says, sadly nobody is considering the victim of the people who came here illegally and have raped, murdered, and robbed people. We have enough criminals. Why import more? Well, I agree. Why should we import more criminals? If the previous administration would not have opened the borders and said, oh, please, come on in, we welcome you,
if you want to deport someone, deport Melania Trump. How does she have an Einstein visa when she is farthest from
we would not have the issues that we have today. And it's pathetic that everybody is putting the blame on Trump. The only one to blame is the previous administration.
Thank you so much for that speaker who just spoke. By the way, that was someone who just came up to
And
me.
Sean, no, you can type as long as you can, or the long messages that you want.
And make even a little bit of a change here in the minds of everyone here today. Who keeps us safe?
We keep us safe.
Who keeps us safe?
We keep us safe.
Free, free, DC.
Free, free, DC.
Free, free, Howard.
Free, free, Howard.
Next speaker is a representative from Kujima, which
And
is
I apologize. This is from Howard University. Howard University in Washington, D.C.
And also, after this
Where
speaker, we are going to come up here and
college students have formed a walkout of class to free D.C. and free Palestine.
Did we start this?
Bo Diddley says, how many criminals are in the crowd? You never can tell, but I am sure there are some.
all good? Yeah. Okay, welcome.
Press the button.
Okay. It can't be right.
Just let it hang free.
Excuse me.
Just let it hang.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we good. Thank you. All right, y'all. Welcome. Hello. So.
And now this guy can't even work the bullhorn.
About being against the federalization of D.C. Am I correct? Yes. Okay. I'm pretty sure we're all on the same page about being against Howard capitulating to ICE. Am I correct? We're all against letting MPD on campus or calling MPD on the students themselves. We're all against Howard refusing to let their students freely express their disappointment with the institution, yada yada. So I don't think I need to draw those lines today.
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe in free speech. But the free speech that I believe in is fact, not fiction or opinion. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. But you have to understand, the younger generation is led by social media, in my opinion. Led by rhetoric and lies.
I've been harassed by Howard police 6 times in MPD once. That's 7 times in 2 years. One of which was the very first day I spent as a freshman on campus. Another one of these times, I was held against the wall by my neck in my own dorm building. Multiple times these police have put their hands on me, and you know what I did about it? Absolutely nothing. Because what would happen if I did say something? The revolutionary communities that address everything on campus get active. Howard slanders the movement, maybe says it was started by outsiders, whatever that means. But no one sees justice, and no one is held accountable. Campus culture was not one where the student body at large would support me. I regularly still see students today with Starbucks. Campus culture here is one that lets the administration get away with whatever, as long as our perfect little elitist experience isn't wrong.
I'm going to start another poll here. And please interact with the poll. It helps us and the other viewers
randomly arrest someone.
Put in their comments.
Student is targeted for speaking out. Will the campus culture be one of complete outrage in support for the folks targeted, or will we continue to get our Starbucks? When folks see someone on campus being harassed by cops, will we be unified enough in our politics to step in? I think it's time we stop asking these questions and start becoming the answer. We want Howard to be a sanctuary campus. We want admin to respect our right to free speech. And we want Howard to at least put out a statement or something opposing the federal takeover. But we also know that Howard won't...
Sean Graves says, we have veterans living on the street but can't take care of them because we are too busy giving benefits to the ones that are illegal. Absolutely.
Let's appeal to something
I completely agree.
Howard's image. If we can wrangle the culture back from its current state, get students to see Howard for what it truly is, get students to care more about the federal takeover than whoever's performing in that building over there this year, get social media flooded with Howard's failures, not just coming from revolutionaries, but the student body at large, who knows how much more bargaining power will hold. I know if I was a donator, I wouldn't give my money to an institution getting dragged 24/7. Yes, it is nowhere near that simple. Changing the culture isn't the solution. It won't get ICE off our campuses. It won't stop Howard from targeting whoever they want. It won't get the feds off the street of D.C.
You know, and I've always asked the question, guys,
Because as long as they can keep us
do protests really help? Do protests really solve anything? We all see about the protests out in LA. We've seen the protests in Chicago.
So, I'd like to give a little homework to anyone willing to participate.
Do they really help?
Make some art critiquing Howard's silence on the federalization of DC and pass it out.
In my opinion, no, they don't help. They cause a bunch more turmoil and drama and chaos in the midst of the already biggest chaos in the world and in the United States. The United States of America has the Constitution. The Constitution says and reads, you have the freedom of speech and freedom of expression, but there are ways to do it. Let me know your thoughts.
Is better than what we're doing right now. So despite what not here, this is amazing, on the day-to-day on campus and all. So despite what I said earlier, I do, in a way, think that yelling, whining, and screaming all the time will eventually help us reach our...
Sean Graves says, Biden administration moved doctors out of the VA and moved them to immigrant camps. I have lost 4 doctors out of the VA. Sean, that is tragic. Our veterans gave us the freedom we have and have fought for this country. And yes, the Biden administration gave these people everything. The people that came across the border were taking jobs from Americans because they work for cheap. The businesses that hired these people paid them in cash because they paid them on made-up Social Security numbers, because as business owners and a business owner myself, there's no real way to check a Social Security number. But these immigrants, they come into this country, do not speak a word of English. Not one word of English. Maybe okay and no. And they just literally took over. And it just angers me to the point that our veterans made us free, like I said. But you had an administration with an auto pen that the puppet, as I will call him, didn't know what was going on, other than he got vanilla ice cream at night as his treat.
I just got here, and I came to DC at a terrible time.
This channel is not built on hate. It's to bring the forefront and the opinions of the American people. And that's what I wanted to do. Put your comments in the chat.
Did not start and will not end with this president. We need to recognize the ways that our mindless support of the state, even when the Oval Office has a man that has our skin tone in it, how we are always capable of being marginalized in this way. I came to this school because I was told that I have the rest of my life to be a minority, and I can have these 4 years to be a part of the majority.
And why is it that people...
being a part of the majority? When did community mean
The first thing that they come to is about race and gender.
to inhabit our school?
Why is it always about race and gender?
militaristic efforts.
Why can't it be about
Equality? What happened to liberation? Howard,
what crimes they've committed?
because we have
Why can't it be
beautiful black people that want to
the
make a change?
American people
Lovely resources.
can't be American? Why do people have to come here illegally, claim they're an American, but they have no, they have really no clue about what America was born and
While people are being killed. While people with dark skin are being killed
and
by
how our
corporations.
forefathers set up the United States of America to be.
For these next 4 years of my education,
Shandy Huddleston says,
I'm going to have
so you skip when he says something you don't like.
for all of these baby bison.
There are a lot of things with this administration that I don't particularly care for. And I am not defending either the right or the left, or the radical left or the liberals. This channel is being built and is built on reality. The reality of the situation is millions of people came across the southern border. Millions. They have no right to be here. The United States Code says if you come to this country illegally, you will be arrested and deported in a very summarial way.
I want to remind everybody here today that even though these issues,
Let's listen back in.
over-policing, students being harassed, they didn't start here. But also, we're living in a completely different DC than any other student has ever lived in. When has any other student had to live in a DC that's been occupied by the federal government? What is our university doing to protect us from this new and unprecedented times? That is why we are here today. That is why you are here today. Because we know that we can't just go to class, go about our daily lives, knowing that at any time we might have to face the National Guard, face ICE, face our fellow peers being persecuted by these institutions. It has been happening. It will continue to happen. And that is why our next speaker is going to be a professor who wants to talk to you all about this issue as well in the English department. We want to show solidarity between us and our professors. Our professors are also here to protect us. Yep, yep. Us students, of course, are the center of student activism, but a lot of what we do couldn't be done without our mentors, without the professors who are here to support us. So I would like to give a round of applause for Professor Hampton. And have him come up and speak to you all.
I'm about to see if I can get this. All right, can y'all hear me? Louder, louder. All right. Okay, we'll see how this goes. Thank you all for coming out. My name is Professor Cyrus Hampton of the Department of Literature and Writing, formerly the Department of English. I'm a senior lecturer. I'm also a longtime volunteer with the non-tenure track faculty union. I'm a graduate of Howard University, class of 06, and I am very proud to be back here, even when we are faced with these disappointing and hurtful times. I prepared a couple words. Let's see if I can get enough hands to hold everything. There's a lot to be said about the world we live in now. The world is always a hard place to live, but this is not a comforting time for y'all to become adults in. Globally, our environment continues to be imperiled by corporate greed, spike all of us having known about the growing danger for years. We are witnessing multiple genocides. In Palestine, U.S. money goes towards funding the use of U.S. weapons against Palestinian civilians. We see live video daily, but our leaders refuse to acknowledge the genocide of the Palestinian people or our nation's complicity in it. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, millions of lives have been lost, all in the name of cheap access to minerals for the benefit of Western technology companies. To learn about the devastation in the DRC or in multiple other countries, you have to go searching. The U.S. media isn't interested.
Sean Graves says, "We haven't had real representation in our country for decades. Everyone who says that they represent us is bought by the NGOs." Absolutely. I have said this, and it has been proven where these online groups and protesting groups are paying these people to do it. It was said in one of my last streams, these paid protesters are getting paid more than what I'm getting paid to sit here and stream it. And that is the absolute truth. $500, $1,000. I've heard of protesters getting paid $10,000 to $15,000 to go disrupt the lives of innocent people. It's pathetic.
And soldiers and federal agents are stalking the streets of our capital. All of that brings us back here to our little campus. There is no doubt that the people with power over this campus find themselves between a rock and a hard place. Howard University is heavily reliant on public funding, which has always made it an easy target for racist politicians. With the university exposed in the way it is, with our campus, our funding, and our future under the burning eye of an authoritarian president, I could almost forgive the folks over in the A building for bowing down ahead of time. Almost. Historians tell us you cannot give in to the authoritarian preemptively. You can't give in before they force you to give in. They will always want more than you can give. But again, the folks in the A building, are tasked with protecting the legacy of this university. If they don't already have the power to fight back, how do they not give in? I wish I had an answer for them and for us right now. I don't. I don't know exactly what we should do next. I have questions, I have thoughts, I have ideas, but I don't know exactly what we need, what the university needs, what the country needs, what the world needs. Something I do know, though, is about our legacy. We are on a storied campus. We have inherited so much history from those thinkers and activists who paved the way ahead of us. But this feeling of being trapped, this situation where it looks like our only choice is to bow down, that is also a part of our legacy. It is the legacy handed to us by our so-called leaders, by generations of Howard University presidents and Howard University trustee boards. This university has some beautiful things in its history, but everything of value that has been achieved on this campus was done by students, faculty, and staff. And it was often done in spite of the supposed leadership of this campus. I get angry with the folks in the A building. I've had a long relationship with Howard, and I've seen a lot of nasty things come out of that A building. Sealed off safely in their offices with their big salaries and their big titles, I've seen deans, provosts, and presidents ignore students' well-being or even be spiteful and cruel towards students. Truth and service. That's what we're supposed to give y'all. I cannot honestly say that we reliably do. We are here right now, trapped and without options because of the legacy of our leaders. Our leaders are what they are. I have sympathies and I have my criticisms. They are trapped in the things they have built. So because they are trapped, I am much more interested in y'all and what legacy you might leave. Y'all are insightful, revolutionary, passionate, kind, and loving. Despite that, you and I are not safe from becoming what they are. But how could this group we have here now, this group of insightful, revolutionary, passionate, kind, and loving young people, how could y'all become like the people in those offices in the A building? Overconfident, lost, spiteful, uncaring. It seems like an unbridgeable gap. It's hard to imagine y'all becoming like them. Selfishly, I don't want to imagine y'all becoming like them. But if we want to avoid following their path, we have to accept that it's possible. It's possible because they too were once young. They too were probably passionate, insightful, maybe even revolutionary. Some of them were all of those things on this campus. If we are going to do something different, it starts with imagining them in their day, out on the yard, just like we are now. I just talked about this with my students last week, so if any of y'all are out here, my apologies for being a little bit of a broken record. But if we're going to find a way forward, I think we have to recognize the errors of the past and recognize how easily we could make those same mistakes. I want to believe that I couldn't be like the people with the power right now, but I could be, and I am, every time I take the easy path, every time I convince myself that the only choice is the one that is cruel but familiar. The frightening truth is that our actions today define who we are and who we can be. It's not what's in your heart, it's not how smart you are or how much you care, it's what you do with your mind and your body right now. For revolution to exist, revolution has to exist in the way we work, fight, and love right now. That's because what we do today teaches us and trains us for who we will be tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. It's a terrible lie that many good people have told themselves, that if I just get over this hill, if I just get through this door, I will finally be free to do good for people. So I'll do whatever it takes to get myself through that door. I will take the easy path and I will allow myself to be unkind, to avert my eyes, to be vicious. And then, once I'm through that door, I'll change. But even on the easy path, getting through the door takes hard work, and it takes time. And having poured yourself into doing whatever you had to do, allowing yourself to be unkind, averting your eyes, being vicious, the person who makes it through that door will not be who you are today. Maybe it won't totally change you. Maybe you will still hold on to your dream. But everything you will have built will serve those forces that demanded you be unkind, selfish, and short-sighted. Your skills, your tools, your community you have built around yourself, and even what you see as possible or impossible will serve the door that kept you out, the wall that held it in place, and the master's house that it was built into. So, if striving for power and taking the path that power demands will poison us, what do we do? Last week at a teach-in that your fellow students put together, just like they put together this, Dr. Marcus Ford said something really valuable to our efforts that I don't think is discussed enough. And if Dr. Ford is here, I apologize if my paraphrasing is ham-fisted. When we are constrained in the way that we are now, when we are facing power and violence like we are now, We have to enact revolution in the little things. I think that we seldom hear people talk about revolution living in little things because, frankly, it doesn't sound like enough, especially now. Especially when we see gangs of cops marching up and down Georgia Avenue, when our neighbors' loved ones are being snatched off the streets, when we see genocide beamed into our phones with up-to-the-minute updates. What does it matter what we do in little spaces when we're faced with that?
The way of this country now is law and order. If we didn't have law and order, we would see a major spike in crime.
Philosophers, business people, business folks, y'all aren't off the hook either.
Percentages of offenders and repeat offenders is high. But if we do not get the crime under control, it's just going to happen and happen and happen. And when does the politicians, when does law enforcement step in? It just seems to me the people that protest do not want law and order. It seems to me that people want the crime. I don't want crime. I don't want to watch the news every day and see that somebody lost their life because of an argument, or I don't want to see innocent women, children, families getting killed because of something stupid. That is why we have the justice system. And these people are protesting the justice system and something that our forefathers set up years and years and years ago. And it's very disheartening to me where people need to protest what the forefathers set up. Society is not going to change, people. Society is not going to change unless we, as the American people, change it. Protesting it is not solving anything. And that is what today's society needs to understand. Will it ever? Will today's society ever understand about the rules and law and order? Put your comments in the chat.
Aren't yet trapped into the legacy of the Master's house. And I hope and believe that even those who are...
Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel here. Turn your bell notifications on so you know when we are live. And we can talk about social issues. We can talk about today's politics. We can talk about the weather.
We can perform little actions that lead to larger action.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. And we are going to continue this coverage live.
Next year or during the lives of your grandchildren, we can grab the opportunity and we can cause transformative change. It is terribly frightening. But the time to start is right now. Y'all have probably heard, some of y'all have probably heard these words before, but I want y'all to repeat after me these words from Assata Shakur. It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love each other and support each other.
We must love each other and support each other.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
Thank you all very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, this will conclude this small little live. Make sure you turn your bell notifications on. We will be back very soon with a new live. Thanks for coming in. And our latest poll, does the generation today know what they are talking about? 17% of the people said yes, and 83% said no. Come back and see us. We will be live this afternoon.